Coach Grimes here, and today we're going to talk about pushers. The pusher is the most common type of opponent you will face in high school tennis. Pushers are players who care nothing about proper tennis technique or skill. They merely want to get the ball back into play until you miss, and they don't care how awkward or ungainly they look doing it. There are different types of pushers you will face. There is the retriever, who runs like a rabbit and gets every ball in. There is what I call the lazy pusher, who will only expend as much energy as they have to. They stand perfectly still until you hit the ball, and move only enough to get to it and put it back over the net. And finally, there's the moonballer, who hits every ball high so that it falls outside of your strike zone. So why would anyone choose to be a pusher? Well, because it's easy. Learning tennis takes time, effort, and focus. You can learn to be a pusher in no time. Another reason to be a pusher is because pushers win, at least at the lower level. While there are some advantages to being a pusher, there are some huge drawbacks. Pushers are stuck at the level in which they begin. Because they make no effort to improve their skills, they can never advance. They are as good now as they will ever be. Also, if their strategy isn't working, they lack the skill to go to a plan B. Now let's look at a couple of points from our 2019 match. Maricopa is on the right. In this point, Abby's going to hit a strong cross-court return, which her opponent won't be able to handle. Very often, lazy pushers won't be able to handle balls hit with pace and spin, especially if they have to move to it. A retriever pusher would have gotten that ball back in play. In this sequence, Abby again moves her opponent side to side, prompting a weak response in which Abby can move in and attack, eventually getting the lucky let court. In both cases, Abby drew her opponent out of her position of comfort, which is the middle of the court, and drew an error. Now let's look at what not to do against a pusher. You must stay out of the area that I call the pusher box. In the pusher box, the pusher can stand still in the middle, not move, not expend any energy, and just block the ball over the net back at you continuously. They will never miss from this position, but you will. To recap, strategy is all about finding out what your opponent wants to do and forcing them to do something different. The pusher wants to stand in the middle of the court and just block balls back over at you. Force them to move side to side by keeping your balls out of the pusher box. They will either give you an error or a short ball in which you can attack. Fail to employ this strategy, and you're in for a long and frustrating day against the pusher.